Well, I got a couple of web bots hits, if you will. I want to talk about both of them. Very interesting, but I just had to rebuild kind of a new computer, and then I realized I didn't have my Realist News background on this one, and the hard drive is at my job, so you're getting the political game show background, which I need to get kicked in gear here shortly. I need to get on this and start doing some of these political game shows. So hopefully I'll get that taken care of soon. First to start with, which I'll save the second one kind of for last. The second one is the new electrics and silver, that kind of thing. But fairly recently, as in the last 3 or 4 months, the Webot reports have been talking about high-end real estate not looking good. And if I could tell you how many times Cliff High actually used the word Florida in high-end real estate, well, put it this way, I wish I had a silver ounce for each time that actually happened. He was very, very specific and referred to places like Florida over and over and over again regarding what will first be high-end real estate crashing down, then the other real estate. So here's something from actually 3 days ago from Zero Hedge. Another bubble has burst. The Miami luxury condo market is a ticking time bomb. Last year we warned that the luxury condo market in Miami was cooling down, and we also noted that one of the main culprits was the fact that foreign buyers, especially Brazilians, were seeing their buying power crushed by the appreciating U.S. dollar. Today the bubble has officially burst, and the Miami luxury condo market is a complete train wreck. There are 3,397 condominiums available in the downtown Miami area, and at current prices, it is estimated that it would take 29 months to sell those. A strong U.S. dollar has continued to force South American investors to unload recently built condos, adding inventory to an area where 8,000 units are under construction and 9 towers have already been completed since 2013. Purchases from January through April fell 25% from the same period in 2015, and average prices have fallen 6% on a per square foot basis, according to Bloomberg. And prices continue to slide. The problem is that investors are no longer buying, and now they're going to be looking to sell. And what buyers are going to replace those other than vulture buyers looking for deals, said Jack McCabe, a housing consultant based in Deerfield Beach, Florida. During this latest construction boom, projects required cash deposits of as much as 60%, and contract cancellation had stiff penalties. Due to this, some investors have been able to cover costs as they wait to sell by renting the condos out. But that isn't a viable option for everyone either, as apartment vacancies have been on the rise as well. The ticking time bomb is based on rental rates. When some of the foreign investors sitting on the sidelines have to dig into their pockets and subsidize renters, that's the fuse that will lead to a correction, said Peter Zilowski, owner of real estate development tracker Crane Spotters. So these people bought these condos, either A, wanting to resell them, or B, wanting to live in them themselves. None of them paying necessarily full, so they own it outright. They make payments on these things. So what essentially is happening, when some of the foreign investors sitting on the sidelines have to dig into their pockets and subsidize the renters, what that is saying is what they would like to get for rent and what they're going to get for rent are two different things. So they would like to have this for rent, but they're getting this for rent. So again, they have to let me say it a different way too. They need to get this for rent, but can't. It's too high. So they have to lower the price for rent, essentially subsidizing the renter. Even billionaires are dumping their property in Miami. Apollo Global Management founder Leon Black, Ken Griffin, and former Saks CEO, not Goldman Sachs, Stefan Sadov, all have units on the market. Sadov has even lowered his asking price by almost 11% to $12.95 million. That unit may take a little while. Andrew Stearns of statfunding.com, which provides residential mortgages for foreign nationals, pointed out that of 14 new Miami towers, the share of resale listings range from 7% at My Brickell Tower to 40% at 400 Sunny Isles. Quote, the concern is we're in a price discovery phase, and the prices people are trying to get for their condos is a lot higher than the market will bear, Stearns said. Isn't that a funny way? The market will bear, Stearns said. A lot higher indeed. A slide from the recent statfunding.com presentation shows a snapshot of just how underwater some of these condos are at the present time. If I can click on that, yes. See if I can add this to my peeps. Hang on 1 second. So let's take a little gander at this one. Net loss if sold at asking price. A couple of these aren't too awfully bad, but I mean, when you're talking 20, 30,000 or more, that's when it starts to hurt. I mean, look at this one, 135,000 loss. Of course, this is a little bit on the higher side, but not much really. Compared to these other ones, where, once you're over $1 million, whatever it is. But even for these, $500,000, 40, 50, 30, 29. And again, this is just to show you this is like the beginning. This is the beginning of what happened in 2008 all over again, except this time there ain't nothing they can do. We've already taken those interest rates that were up here, brought them back down to near zero, and that is where they've been staying. So we can't say, hey, let's drop the rates again so that mortgages, real estate can go up again. We already did that. So what could they possibly do right now, the club, the powers that be, to make the real estate at least just stay where it's at? Forget just rising, just stay where it's at, where it's kind of okay. They're already at zero, and there's already losses. So if there's already losses and we're at zero interest rates, God help us if they raise the rates. Real estate destruction 101 is what that is. If they leave them where they're at, the market is already steadily correcting itself as we speak. And as they keep the rates near zero, savers, pensioners, etc., lose. What a hell of a place for the Federal Reserve to be in. So I'm going to skip on to the other thing. Now, many Webbot reports over the years even have talked about this silver being used in something called the new electrics. That's the keywords that were coming out. New electrics. That was the main phrase. But that it was going to take some silver for these new electrics. And that was going to put a big strain on the market, the physical market, for silver. So this isn't like an absolute spot-on, perfect, unbelievable hit. But I think this is covering what I believe that data was talking about. And again, this should be just the beginning of whatever this leads to. So this is from Silver Doctors. Has the industrial silver panic begun? Question mark. Now that's funny. Again, this is just posted May 30th. I mean, today's actually the 30th as I'm doing this tonight. But has the industrial silver panic begun? Now let me think. What have the recent keywords in the Webbot report referred to silver as? A panic to own, a panic to buy, panic to acquire. He said those days will be coming in the near future. So when I see an article with the headline, Has the industrial silver panic begun? We might be leading into it. However, that's not what I want to talk about. Major Japanese electronics firm to lock in silver supply, the price essentially. Well, I'm not necessarily so sure about the price. We'll find out in a second. But at least the supply. They want to secure a supply from some miner. And that miner is First Majestic Silver, citing supply concerns. This is an electronics company that needs silver and is concerned about supply. Webbot, new electrics, silver supply. Interesting. As regular readers know, we have long warned that the end game for the banksters' manipulation of the bond markets and interest rates via gold and silver manipulation will occur when industrial users of physical silver, namely the colossal electronics industry, sniff the first signs of a wholesale shortage of physical silver and begin panic hoarding of silver to ensure continued production of their tech gadgets. Again, I have to stop because these two things have been in the Webbot report. New electrics gobbling up silver, and silver, panic to own, short supply, need to get it. And this is one of the first articles about this, because this just broke recently, this news about this company, this big Japanese company, going to a First Majestic Silver and locking in future production. As First Majestic CEO Keith Neumeyer reveals in his stunning Bloomberg interview, that endgame industrial supply panic may have just begun. Neumeyer reveals a major Japanese electronics firm has approached First Majestic to lock in physical silver, citing supply concerns. A major Japanese electronics maker approached First Majestic Silver Corp for the first time last month. Again, last month, but when are we hearing about this? This just broke news. We didn't know this. To lock in future stock. A sign of supply concerns that could boost the metal's price ninefold, according to the best performing producer of the metal. For an electronics manufacturer to come directly to us, that tells me something is changing in the market, said Keith Neumeyer, Chief Executive Officer of First Majestic, the top stock in Canada and among its global peers this year. Quote, I think we'll see 3-digit silver, he said, predicting the metal could surge to $140 an ounce as early as 2019. A reminder as to how critical the industrial side of the silver equation is. Strategic metal, while long coveted for use in jewelry, coins, and utensils, silver is increasingly in demand for its industrial applications. Last year, about half of global silver consumption came from such use, including mobile phones, flat TVs, screens, solar panels, and alloys, solders, according to data, compiled by GFMS for the Washington-based Silver Institute. Quote, silver is not a precious metal, it's a strategic metal, Neumeyer said in an interview in Vancouver, where the company is based. Silver is the most electrically conductive material on the planet, other than gold, and gold is too expensive to use in circuit boards, solar panels, or electric cars. As we electrify the planet, we require more and more silver. There's no substitute for it. I would be curious, which I don't know if I can find this while I'm sitting here with you, on hold kind of, Tesla electric car silver use. I'm just going to see if it even pops up by chance. Both silver and black, that's the color. Just was curious if these Teslas, which would also tell me other electric cars as they would come on, to compete with Tesla, and their electronics, their motors, whatever it is. I was just curious if I could just quickly type that in, but clearly Google silver, well, it does say they have silver oxide batteries. Something does. Lithium ion. silver oxide. Someone was asking a question. Anyways, I'm not sure. I don't have the answer, but it just hit me real quick. So let me just take a peek. Is by chance silver being used, and how much so per car of these Teslas? Reason I'm mentioning Tesla is because, as I'll type, I was saying this Tesla low end model, $35,000, I believe is what I heard. Yep, Model 3. Model 3 combines real-world range, performance, safety, and spaciousness into a premium sedan that only Tesla can build. Our most affordable car yet, the Model 3 achieves 215 miles of range per charge while starting at only $35,000 before incentives. Model 3 is designed to attain the highest safety ratings in every category. 215 miles per charge. Under 6 seconds, 0 to 60. Seating for 5 adults. Autopilot hardware? Interesting. And supercharging ability, which not to be confused with the old school superchargers, but supercharge it as in charge it very rapidly. Starting prices before incentives, deliveries begin late 2017. You may reserve yours for $1,000. So why I decided to mention this is because if this is the base model that's now affordable for everybody, how many more people who are sick and tired of the high oil, low oil, high gas prices, low gas prices, all this crap related to oil, how many people are going to say, you know what, even with gas prices the way they are right now, I'm still struggling, I still can't pay for my damn food and family things that they need, still those things are expensive. Sure, hey, thanks for $2 a gallon gas right now, or a little more, but everything else sucks. So how else could I save? Well, if I didn't have to put any damn gas in the car, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to be able to plug it into my house, which, yes, it costs you, ultimately, electricity to charge it. But when you look at the pennies per kilowatt or whatever that you're putting into the car, it's, I don't even know what the equation is right now, but it's sick how cheap it is to charge your car. $40 in gas, or like, $8 or $6 or something like that to charge your car. I mean, it's that crazy. So if a whole bunch of people start going this way, which again, that's where the world's heading, if any silver is being used in these cars, any amount, all of a sudden it's going to increase because of the amount of, the amount needed is going to increase because of the amount of people who are going to be starting to buy these kind of cars. We are now finally getting out of the old gasoline cars and really looking towards electric cars, and Tesla is taking the ball and running with it. So remains to be seen what comes of this, but I did want to mention that to you. Take care.